Right, folks, look, I've got a question for you, and then I've got something of an apology and an explanation, if you like. This is an unusual one from me, and I will explain why in a moment, but I really do hope that you're all well. How are you? I do hope you're well. How am I? Not great. I've been better. I think I'm letting a couple of personal things get me down ever so slightly. I'll get through them, I always do. But things could be better. But that's life, innit? It throws things at us. We've got to deal with it, put them right and move on. And that's what I'm aiming to do. But the apology is really for today. I'm going to tell you a little bit about today and what I've got in front of me today for the channel. And I'm going to just quickly go through a couple of comments people have made over the last couple of days and over the last couple of weeks. Nothing too tense, nothing bad. And I'm just going to really reiterate what the channel's all about and what we're going to do going forward. This is only a 2 or 3 minute message, maybe 5 minutes, but the reason you're getting it, folks, is just a bit of interaction between me and you, but also because I've got very, very, very little to put out there. And when I say very little, I mean virtually nothing. Let me give you an idea. I've got a video coming out at 7 o'clock. I've done it earlier. It's one of my new series about how bookmakers treat us like absolute crap. Now that's great for those that follow the horse racing, but for those that don't, they'll have no interest in it. And this channel is about loads and loads of different people, different walks of life, different things within life. It's about like your sport of all kinds. It's about media. It's about personalities. It's about the day-to-day news. It's about how Great Britain isn't as great as it was, and we're going down stupid rabbit holes with these idiots that are coming up with these things that frankly do your head in, and things I comment on with regularity. We look at politics, we look at everything, but I've got to say that video coming out at 7 o'clock. I've got another sporting one coming out at about 7:30. I think I'll flip this in between them two at like 7:15, and I say it's going to be 5 or 6 minutes, but it's just me talking. But unlike me talking normally and having a subject to talk about, I've got no subject here. And the reason I've got no subject, and the real reason behind this message, I mean, it's twofold this. The first thing is to say, as I say, I've got nothing for you today, but just to give you an idea of where to get my info from and the stuff that we talk about on a daily basis. I look at a newspaper every single day. On a Saturday and Sunday, it's 2 newspapers. So today, it's only one. We're on Thursday. I look at YouTube. I don't go scouring through YouTube. I just look at whatever stuff I watch. They send me things of that ilk, and I look through everything. And if I find anything on there to do with the subjects I normally cover, I cover it on here, but nothing. I look at on MSN 3 or 4 times a day, and I look just before I record. I look at the news reports. I always see one news per day, a 15-20 minute news. It might be on ITV, it might be on BBC, but on one of the major channels. And I also look at 8 to 9 TV shows over 3 channels. I've done all of that today, again, as per normal. So I've looked at a newspaper, I've looked at YouTube, I've looked at MSN, I've looked, I think, to 8 TV programmes today, and I've looked at the news. And I found nothing to report to you folks. Nothing. Nothing at all. And it's just unbelievable. Some days I can have 8, 9, 10, 12 messages. But today, nothing. So for that I apologise, but there's nothing I can do if I can't find anything there to talk about. But the other thing on the back of that is to say to all the people that have been with me since day one, and there's been many of you, and it's growing in numbers, and I appreciate it greatly. I mean, I've had a massive bump, a massive spike over the last 4 or 5 weeks, or 2 or 3 weeks to be exact, mainly to do with sport and mainly to do with horse racing. But I want those that don't follow the horse racing side of things to know I've not forgotten any of you folks, and I never, ever, ever will. I mean, to that end, let me give you an idea of a few comments I've had over the last few days, last week or so. I had one today saying, and I'm going to message him later, I've not had a chance to message you, but I've seen it, saying, take this down. It's probably because it looks a bit amateurish and whatever else, but everything I do is amateurish, so I don't mind. You know, folks, I don't like saying subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Do the thumbs up, do the thumbs up. Click the notification bell. You know I hate doing that. I must do it once every 2, maybe 3 weeks. And there's loads of messages go out daily, so that's like once every about 100 messages. I just hate doing it, and that's why that's there. On some of the racing ones lately, I've asked people to put a thumbs up, but it's only because we've got, and this is even to you folks that don't care about racing, We've got a problem within that sport now where bookmakers are very, very unfair. They want everything for themselves and damned the people that put the bets on. They don't care about people that put the bets on. They care about themselves only. They're operating a cartel, and it's a very, very unfair one. If you want to bet with them and try to win any money, they won't let you. They find ways of letting you bet less and less and less, and if you're winning, they close your accounts. If, however, you're betting and you're losing and losing with regularity, they love you. It's come on in, bet whatever you want. It's just totally unfair. And we've got something going there, and we've gained a good few subscribers on the back of it, and a lot of stories on the back of it, and it's a pretty good movement, and hopefully it'll grow. But I've had this gentleman say about taking that down. I've had him mention about putting one of these little furry mics on. I didn't know that they work that well, but I'll look at it now, and I believe they cost buttons. Because I've had 2 or 3 people over the last 6 months say the sound isn't great. It doesn't help that I talk a bit quick. It doesn't help that I'm only on a laptop. It doesn't help that I don't have a microphone. I brought a couple of microphones here a couple of weeks ago and they weren't working. I thought, well, I need something that actually boosts the sound. Now, maybe this gentleman's mentioned to me don't boost the sound, but because it's here and because it's plugged in, maybe that's all that's needed. I don't know. But we'll give that a go and see if it helps, if it works, and if it does, great. So I'll look at that. But I've had a couple of people these last couple of weeks that have said to me, just ditch your channel, ditch all that you do, just cover the racing because it's taking off for you. You're getting more views on that than anything else. Specialise your channel to the one thing. And I never even give it a second thought because that's not what I want to do. I didn't start with racing. This channel, we cover everything. As much as anything else, I knock people on this channel. I knock those that are, I believe, stealing a living, that are earning fortunes for having no talent at all. They can be on the TV, landscape, musically, or on the football field or on the sporting field. I hate those that are robbing us, and there's loads. From time to time we praise people, but not as regularly. But the ones that we do, I really, really praise. We knock the output of lots of the TV stations. We knock a lot of what the politicians are telling us. I knock balls out the park about all this to do with gender and all this, cause that does my head in more than anything else. Not the fact that anybody's changing gender or doing things that they want to with the body. Everyone has their own choice. That's 100%. I'm with that all the way. I don't like the way kids are being pushed into down avenues, sometimes without them knowing the full facts, and at too young an age. I don't like these mothers and fathers that are bringing up young children, very young children, and one day they're calling it Bob and the next day Sally. I don't get that at all. And I'm not into this them, they, him, her and all that. To me, somebody's him or a her or a Mr. or a Mrs., a boy or a girl, and that's it to a great extent. I don't like all these names. Do they call them pronouns we're supposed to use? I'm not for that. I've not grown up with that. I don't do that. I don't like it. Everyone to their own. It's not for me. I'm not into the way people kick people like J.K. Rowling and whatever else for just saying sensible, normal, common sense things. I'm not into the way that they pick on certain people and everybody piles in. I don't like it. And I'll always defend the underdog, especially when I think the underdog is right. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to do a lot to do with all kinds of sports on here. A lot to do with football. I love football. A lot to do with rugby league. Many don't get it because it's a northern sport. I love it. A lot to do with horse racing, golf, the sports that I particularly like. Bits to do with boxing. Loads of TV programmes of all kinds, including soap operas, music, all kinds of music, film. I'm going to do all of that. I do politics. I do anything and everything. Some days, folks, I'll do 14 videos and they'll all be totally different subjects. I do it because I can. I do it because I enjoy it. And I do it as much as anything else because no one else is doing this. People are telling me that the racing's took off and the racing's better than everything else. And it is for those that follow the racing. But those that follow the racing don't listen to a lot of other stuff we're doing. If they did, there might be stuff there they would like. Those that follow the racing are probably mainly, and not always, but mainly gentlemen. If the wives or girlfriends knew about the channel, they'd probably find on loads there that they like. The reason this channel, considering it's only 11 months old, it's taking off. 2.5 hours, whatever, for 11 months old, from what I'm told, from what I read about YouTube, is fantastic. It's doing really, really, really well. But I do a video about a serious subject, or a video that I think is really funny, and sometimes it'll get 10, 20 or 30 views, and I'm frankly gutted. When I do a good one and I know it's good, it guts me. But it's just the way that it goes. It's all about YouTube and algorithms and what they push. And sometimes you just get lucky on a video. one of my most watched videos is something to do with Alison Hammond, I think. It was reasonably funny. Might have got watched by about 13,000 people. It was reasonably funny. I've done probably 400 that are funnier or better than that, and some of them got watched by 20. It's the way it goes. But my aim is to get to 3,000 subscribers. I've got a cunning plan then that'll hopefully, with your help, get me more views. And as I get more viewers on here, and YouTube push things more and more and more, I'll do well with all subjects, be it TV, be it movie. I do lots to do with Manchester United. I do loads of people doing Man United channels, and they're getting millions of watchers. I'm not getting millions because I'm crap. I'm not getting millions. I mean thousands, not millions, because I'm doing it in just a studio on my own. Stop saying bedroom. A studio on my own with no graphics, no music, and nothing fancy. I'm not getting loads of videos just because nobody knows I'm here. People don't know I'm here. United folk don't know I'm here. The odd one does, but more don't. And they don't because YouTube aren't pushing anything I do. But as I get more viewers and more people watch things and give that thumbs up, and YouTube push it to more and more and more, even the United side of me will grow. But then again, I'm not all about United. I say things about other teams, especially our arch enemies like your Liverpools and your Cities. And sometimes, unlike most football fans, I say complimentary things as well. And people like that. But I don't say it just to get people to like it. I don't say it to get people patting me on the back. I say it because I believe it. Whatever I believe, I say. If it works for me, great. Sometimes it doesn't, but I say it anyway. Because that's what this is all about. Truth and honesty, 100%. And that's all I've ever given from day one. But to that end, I'm not going to tailor my channel to anybody that watches it. My channel's always going to be as it is. I actually thought 10 days ago, do a split it and do one side sport and one side not, or do a split it and do one side horse racing, then sport. And then I thought, no, I'm not going to do all that. I'm going to carry on as I carry on. I know horse racing is getting more traction than other things at the moment, but I know in time it'll still get loads of traction. I hope it does, but other things will as well. Because as more people start to watch things and put thumbs up, and I get more subscribers and more YouTube push things, I'll do well. Because what I'm doing, nobody else is doing. I might be an old fart talking crap most of the time, and I do talk a lot of crap. But a lot of the crap's common sense, and you know it is. And many of the viewing public of mine are probably 40 years and upwards, even more 50 years and upwards, and even more 60 years and upwards. And we've all been brought up the same. And all the things I'm saying in the main, not everything, but all of them, most everyone of my age group agrees with. But people aren't standing up or sitting up and saying it. Well, I do. So I'm a voice for those of you out there that are really unhappy with the way things are going in this country. Just like that one yesterday, calling Easter eggs, what are they calling them? What are they calling them? Something eggs, like gratitude, not gratitude eggs. Begins with G, I can't think what it's called. I did it yesterday. Again, probably 40s followed that, or 60. I can't think what they're calling them. Jim Davison probably covered it last night. I'll do it today. He'll get 80,000 people watch it because it's Jim, because people know him, and that's how it works. As I say, when they know you, when YouTube push, you get more views. Nobody knows me. They will in time. Don't worry. I'll keep ramming it down the throat until they know me. I can't think what the eggs are called, but they call them, say gratitude eggs. It's not that. It's something similar. And it's just to make it all more inclusive, because seemingly Easter isn't celebrated to anybody other than, is it Christians? Lots don't recognise it. And this place in Leicestershire, I think it was Leicestershire, Lincolnshire, wants to make it more inclusive so everyone understands about the chocolate and eating chocolate at Easter. But it won't work if they call it Easter egg, so they come up with this other name. And I'm thinking, what a load of cack. How many years have we been pushing Easter eggs now? 200, 300, 400, 500? And now all of a sudden, somebody comes out of the woodwork and wants to change it to make it all inclusive. Unbelievable. And these things are happening all the time, folks. And I'm railing up against that all the time, folks. I'm not having it. So anyway, the channel, I'm sorry about today. The output is sparse, but I can't find anything there, folks. And I won't make things up. Well, I make lots of things up to do with people. But like the joke things, I can't even do any of that. So there's nothing I can think of to cover. So I thought I'd have a quick chat. I thought I'd let you know how the channel's going and what it's all about and what I'm going to do. For those of you that watch the channel, and I'm grateful for everybody that does, whether you've subscribed or not. If you watch the channel and you've noticed the races getting more, I did 2 videos a day per racing. One is a feature called Scores on the Doors. That won't be done today because there's no scores. When this thing's to report, I do that. And then I do a daily one about how the bookies are treating us. And I'm only going to do that when there's things there to report. I mean, up to now I've had something daily. But if in the next couple of days there's nothing to say, it won't be here. But thereafter it will be. So I'm still going to carry on with horse racing, but I'm still going to carry on with everything else we do. We're not going to stop doing anything we do. This channel was a bit of a brainwave of mine, and this is how I was going to do it. And then I was going to do this and do this and do this, and it's mushroomed from that, and it's going exactly the way I want it to go. I'm covering the subjects I want to cover. If somebody says on here, can you cover this? Have you got an opinion on this? We've said it before. Just tell me, and if I can, I will. I've had 2 people last night saying, can I get such and such a person on there to do a Q&A with them? I'm looking at that. I'm going to try and speak to them tonight or tomorrow to see if they fancy it. Again, that'll only suit certain people. It's about horse racing. But as we have other people on there and other subjects, they'll suit other people. And again, the invite's there to you folks, one and all. Whoever you may be, any interest that you may have, anything that you'd like me to cover, ask me. And if I know anything about it, I will. But if you've got any interest at all, anything at all that you'd like to talk about, that you feel other watchers in here might like to listen to, let me know. Email me in my email section. There's an email address there in the home section here, or the about section. You click onto it, the email will become apparent. Send me any email at any time. I'll read it. If I think, wait a minute, that'll go down well on here, I'll give you the call. We'll make a phone call. We'll chat, and if you fancy it, we'll get you on here. As I've said before, you don't have to use your full title. We can do you a pseudonym if you want. Your mug wouldn't be on here. You'd be on a phone and I'd be on here, so you don't have to worry about. There'd be no stage fright. Nobody will see your face, so don't worry about that. And yeah, we'll have you on here. Anyone that wants to come on here can come on here. As I say to folk, it's your channel as much as mine, and that's what it's here for. So if anybody ever wants to come on, whoever they might be, talk about anything, as long as I think just a few people will find it interesting, you're welcome. And that's it. So, I hope your Thursday's okay for you. I hope you're having a good day. I hope many of you are off tomorrow and have a long weekend off for Easter. Don't eat too many Easter eggs, or whatever they call them now, gratitude eggs or whatever. It's not gratitude, it's something beginning with G. It's a load of crap. I hope that you have a nice holiday off. If you're having a holiday off, I hope the weather picks up. I believe it's awful again tomorrow, but I hope it picks up for you. And I hope I've got more to cover this weekend. If there's more there, I'll cover it. Don't you worry about that. But folks, I can't talk about what's not there, and today I can't find anything. All them different outlets, and I can't find anything. Crazy, isn't it? Hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. Captain Tom always said it would be, so let's hope he's right. Anyway, on that, I'm going to leave you.